Hi friends! Welcome back to another sewing video brought to you by yours truly. It's Julius here with you, and one of the many questions we get is how to embroider on a garment. If you have the same question, then you're in luck, because today is all about basic embroidering. Let's all learn how to embroider on a garment, specifically on this jacket that I have here. The featured sewing machine today is the Brother NV2700, the sewing, quilting, and embroidery sewing machine. My newest acquisition and definitely my new favorite. This machine is ideal for embroidering larger designs due to its wide embroidery frame. It has plenty of features, one being its numerous sewing stitches, both utility and decorative. It has an amazing LCD touchscreen that helps you navigate its features easily. And most importantly, I will show you how to easily embroider on this sewing machine. But before we begin, we will need to prepare a few items and set up the sewing machine for embroidering. We will require the embroidery frame. The Brother NV2700 has two frame sizes, a smaller and a bigger frame. We will only use the bigger one for this project. We will also need the grid sheet to help us in centering the embroidery design, scissors for fabric and thread, a ruler, the screwdriver that came with the machine, chalk to mark the lines on the fabric, some good quality embroidery threads, a bobbin thread. You can opt for a pre-wound bobbin thread like mine, or you can wound a bobbin using the bobbin thread that came with the machine. And most importantly, a good stabilizer. This one I have here is a cutaway stabilizer. Now that we have all the materials and tools needed, we will proceed in setting up the machine for embroidering. Setting up the machine is easy and will only take a few minutes. First, I will remove the free arm from the machine and insert the embroidery carriage, just like so. Next is to install the free motion or embroidery foot. This is done by removing the entire shank of the presser foot and attaching the embroidery foot securely in place using the screwdriver provided with the machine. This foot has a lead pointer that helps in positioning the needle before embroidering onto the fabric. Then, installing the embroidery needle in place. It is necessary to use an embroidery needle as it is a specialized type of needle that helps achieve a good embroidery design. Once the machine is set up for embroidering, we will then prepare our garment. Since we will be embroidering a huge design at the back, we will fold the back of the garment towards the front in half lengthwise, ensuring that all sides are aligned. Using chalk, we will mark the back center line. Open up the garment and draw a straight line along the center back using the initial markings as the guide. Then draw a line perpendicular to the straight line to form a cross. The intersection of these two lines will be the center of the embroidery design. Once done, we will then proceed in framing the garment to be embroidered. First, we will cut out the stabilizer about 2 inches wider than the embroidery frame. Then, with the garment right side up, we will place the stabilizer under the garment. Slide the outer frame underneath the garment and move the fabric to center. Place the inner frame on top of the fabric together with the grid sheet. Then position the fabric in the center of the frame as possible. At this point, we will have to ensure that the intersection made by the chalk lines matches the center of the grid sheet. Once everything is centered, we will remove the grid sheet and then press the inner frame into the outer frame to secure the garment in place. We will then tighten the adjustment screw slightly and pull the garment on all sides to remove any slack. This precautionary step will help reduce pattern distortion while embroidering. Then, we will further tighten the adjustment screw. Now, to the exciting part. Off to the machine. While ensuring the presser foot lever is raised, we will then slide the embroidery frame onto the embroidery carriage and under the presser foot. This is done by lining up the frame holder along the embroidery carriage tab like so. Then lock the frame by lowering the frame securing lever. We will then select an embroidery design from the machine. For this garment, I have selected this design as it is huge enough to cover a huge area of the back of the garment. Then, we will press the set button to proceed. At this stage, we will rotate the design to match up the direction of how I framed the garment. The design can be rotated 360 degrees or on all sides and direction. Once done, we will then proceed in resizing the embroidery pattern to get the biggest design the machine can embroider. Then we will press the Edit End button. At this point, we can check the embroidery area by pressing this button on the machine. This will move the embroidery frame to show the actual area to be embroidered. When doing this, we will need to ensure that the needle is up to avoid breaking. Once we are satisfied with the settings, we will then press the embroidery button to determine the thread color for this design. The machine will show the thread color to be used, indicating a color code or numbers. You will notice that most embroidery threads are numbered, and this will guide us in getting the actual colors of the design as much as possible. We will then proceed in threading the machine as normal by following the numbered path. Thanks to the advanced needle threading system, threading the NV2700 is so much easier and quicker, all with the help of the automatic needle threader, of course. Once threading is done, we can then proceed with the embroidery process. Press the Start/Stop button to begin embroidering. The Brother NV2700 has a continuous embroidery process wherein it cuts the thread once it is done embroidering an area, and then moves to another area without leaving a long tail of thread. This makes the embroidery designs looking more professional. Also, the machine will tell you an estimated time to complete a specific embroidery design. Since we have chosen a design that requires only one thread color, we will not need to stop and rethread the machine. Otherwise, If your design calls for different color threads, the machine will automatically stop once embroidering a part or an area is done. You can then rethread the machine with a different thread color and proceed with the embroidering. At this point, since the machine is doing all the work, you can do other things until the embroidering is finished. Just watch out and take a look from time to time as thread breakage can happen. Although so far I haven't experienced thread breaking with the NV2700, but it is a good idea to do so. And that, my friends, is very important, as using good quality embroidery threads can really give your projects that professional looking finish, as well as lesser time rethreading your machine. Roughly 37 minutes later, we now have an embroidered jacket. We can now remove the embroidery frame from the machine, as well as remove the garment from the frame. Cut out the excess stabilizer fabric and we're all done. This design is perfect for this garment as it makes those embroidery stitches pop out. You can also embroider on other garments or even pillowcases and towels. This is a perfect way to level up your garments without having to spend more money. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial, and I will see you again on the next one. Happy embroidering!